Happy Sabbath, Shabbat Shalom to everybody who is listening and watching this video. I pray the Most High will be glorified through this video and you guys will be blessed and edified. Now, today's topic is a very, it sounds rhetorical in nature, but is it really? Now, here's, if you wonder what's on the screen, now here's predictions of the end of the world or last day prophecies going back 2,000 years up to 2018. I'm not going to go through all of them today. I'm not going to make this video long at all. Let's go up to 2018. All right. So the last prediction that we have is from this year, April 2013, the 23rd by David Mead. He predicted that Nebrew would become visible in the sky, would soon destroy the earth, and obviously that failed, and he predicted that the rapture would take place and the world would end on this date. Now, what makes this topic very interesting is that every year it appears for thousands of years, man or a particular religious group would predict the end of the world. And every time they have been wrong. I mean, let's go back to, you know, 375. Let's start here. Martin of Tours, a French bishop, stated that the world would end and before 400 AD. Obviously, he was wrong. So it's very interesting. And let me just say this. I'm not saying that we're not in the last days. What I'm saying is that everyone prior to me has always said that. Not just 100 years ago, not just in 1844, not just in 1,000 years ago. This has happened throughout the years, and it seems like every other year. Now let's look at a couple more. This is just kind of food for thought. I definitely think we're in some serious or different times, but the question is, are we in the last days? When you look at history, are we in the last days? Let's look at let me go back up. 1284, Pope Innocent, Pope Innocent the Third. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly. Died and predicted the world would end in 666 after the rise of Islam. Obviously, that fell. Let's go down a little bit more. All right, I know I'm not going to pronounce this correctly. Pierre I, okay, around 1400, the French theologian wrote that in 6,845 years of human history have already passed, the end of the world will be in the 7,000th year. Obviously, that fell, according to his chronology. Now, here's a mathematician. He predicted the world will be ending this year. He was wrong. Martin Luther, the German priest, professor of theology, predicted the end of the world will occur no later than 1600. Let's go down. And I can go on and on. I'm just going to point out a couple of more and I'm just going to end this video. And most of these predictions are all coming from the vast majority, I would say 95% more from Christian backgrounds. Let's read, let's go up to some. All right, let's go to John Hinrich, Alstead, 1694. The Calvinist minister predicted the millennium would begin this year. Believed that Jesus would return and the world would end this year. And that's by Mr. Zimmerman in 1694. Another false prediction. came and gone. Let's look at 1716. Cotton Mather. Revised prediction from the Mather after his 1697 prediction failed to come true. Because he predicted in 1697 that the world would end this year. After the prediction failed, he revised the date to 2 more times. This is something that has been going on. So even though we're in the year 2018 and everybody's saying we're in the last days, I'm not going to say they're wrong, but everyone prior to us said the same thing. So the question is for you who is watching it and listening, are we truly in the last days? Um, let's go to a couple more. Let's go more recent ones, because people will say, well, that was back then. But I'm just going to show you something I never considered before. Now, here's one, William Miller. This is March 21st, 1844. The Baptist preacher predicted Christ will return on this day. This was usually referred to as the Great Disappointment. And obviously, in this formed the Millerites and the Adventist Church through this prophecy, and is referred to the Great Disappointment. Obviously, Christ did not come on 1844. Okay, I'm just going to wrap this up now. Let's go to a couple more. Let's see. In 1901, Catholic Apostolic Church. This church, founded in 1831, claimed Jesus would return by the time of its last 12 founding members died. Sorry, that Jesus would return by the time the last of its 12 founding members died. The last member died in 1901. Let's go up to some. Let's go to 1936. Herbert Armstrong, the founder of the Worldwide Church of God, told his member of his church that the rapture would take place in 1936, and the only thing they would be sorry, and that only they would be saved. After the prophecy fell, he changed the date 3 more times. So this, let me tell you what happened. When you have false prophets, they always revise their false error. Instead of admitting that, hey, this revelation did not come from God, they're constantly revising it all the time. So it's like they'll predict one day and it's okay, well, this didn't happen, then this actually, it really meant this. And all it is just false predictions, false prophecy. These are men coming up with these predictions. God is not revealing these to these people because every last time they have been wrong. And you would figure that people would say, hey, man, the year before he predicted it. I mean, look at this, 1936, 1941, 1943, 1947. Okay? 1959, 1967. Here's the famous one, Jim Jones. That happened in Guyana. Okay? That was horrific. Here's Charles Manson. He predicted Helter Skelter, the world, 1969. I mean, it's just kind of crazy when you look at it. When you look at it logically, I should say. Now let's go up to the year 2000, like 1999, because I remember when 1999 was approaching, a lot of people were like, whoa, world's gonna end. See? You just can read on and on and on and on and on. Timothy Dwight, 19th century president of Yale University, foresaw Christ's millennium starting by the year 2000. Nazim Al Haqqani, the Sufi Muslim Shiite predicted the last judgment will occur before the 2000. James Harmston, the leader of True and Living Church of Jesus Christ of Saints of the Last Day, predicted the second coming of Christ will occur in this day. Okay? Even a psychic wants to get a part of the action. The psychic predicted the second of coming would occur this year, 2000. Every year. And when do people learn their lesson that no one knows? And the sad thing about it, and I'm gonna wrap this up right now, is that out of these false predictions, a lot of different groups, religious groups, have been formed through these false predictions. And they are so deceived because they believe that, okay, even though the false prophecy has been wrong, they still are following these people who have been misleading them. No one knows the time or the hour. Stop predicting these dates. They are a stumbling block to many people, and it's going to continue. And here's some more future prediction. This guy is predicting Roland Wieland, who previously predicted the world would end in 2011. You see what I'm saying? 2012, 2013, they always revise. Predicted in 2018, Jesus will return on June 9th, 2009. He has already expressed some doubts regarding his own prediction. Janine Dixon predicted that Armageddon would take place in 2020, sorry. She previously predicted that the world would end in 1962. Another false prediction, even though 2020 hasn't happened. But my point is, again, not to beat a dead horse, but, oh, let me bring out John Hagee. His guy is phenomenal at predictions, you know. Um, Again, false prophecy. These people are misleading the sheep. They're misleading the flock, and they've been doing it for thousands of years. Every year, some man wakes up with some revelation from the Most High, allegedly, or some woman from the Most High gets given a vision, and everybody believes it. But if you want to learn the future, just look at the past, and you will see that this is something that has been going on and on. Now, again, I'm not saying that we're not in the last days. What I'm saying is, are we really in the last days? Because everyone prior to us believed the same thing. Just food for thought, something to think about. Google it. Like I said, I wasn't going to go through each and every prophecy, but it's just, knowledge is power. It's just good food for thought. All right? And remember, we're not saved by knowledge, but we're destroyed for the lack of it. Hosea 4:6. Shalom.